Hi everyone, in this video we'll be looking at my web app Chrysalis stock. I built it in the last couple days as an assignment to learn Python and the framework Django. Chrysalis is a simple website where you can type in a stock symbol and it will return you the basic information that you need to have to do fundamental analysis, and it accesses the Yahoo Finance API, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. So my goal with this exercise was to, like I said, learn Python and Django. So all the visuals, all the CSS is just out of the box foundation library components, and I really focused on the back end. So if you enter a stock symbol and submit it, it returns you a bunch of cross-sectional data as well as a lot of time series. So the cross-sectional data is how the Apple stock has performed today. It has some technical indicators like 200-day moving average, 50-day moving average, and then some fundamental analysis metrics that you might use as well. For the cross-sectional data, Chrysalis returns the last year worth of data for that stock, and in particular the open and close, high and low, and volume for each date from 1 year ago up until yesterday. Before we dive into the specifics of how the website works, I'd like to give you an introduction to Django. What Ruby on Rails is to Ruby, Django is to Python. It's a framework for deploying full-stack web applications in your preferred scripting language. And if you prefer writing Python, you will probably write a website using Django or using Flask or something along those lines. Django follows a typical model view controller architecture, wherein the definitions of objects are defined in the models, which is the models.py file. Views are stored in HTML templates, and then there are two files, urls.py and views.py, that work in conjunction to triage requests between the browser and the database, which is the responsibility of the controller. So let's get right into that. At the heart of object-oriented programming languages like Python are, as the name implies, objects. And so it makes sense that the heart of web apps built using OOP languages would also be objects. In my case, I have two objects. There are stocks and there's historical data associated with them. An object is instantiated, and then all the following lines after it define the attributes or the dimensions of each stock object. So each line here will eventually become a table in a database later on, and each record will be instances of stocks, basically. So as you can see here, there's price, sort of the snapshot of the day's performance, technical indicators, fundamental analysis metrics, etc. And then the historical data ones here, of course, correspond to what you saw on the stock summary page. When browsing the internet, all data either comes from a user and goes to a server, or vice versa. The controller, which in this case is two different files, handles the messages that get passed. The urls.py page shows the URLs and tells Django how to redirect appropriately. URLs are made with regex, as you can see here, so that you can define a URL with patterns rather than just a strict set of characters. For example, this stock summary URL will take any letter, capitalized or lowercase, and any number of letters, as little as 1 or up to 5, and that's the stock symbol. So when this URL is called, whatever is entered after the slash, assuming it fits this criteria, will get passed to views.stocksummary, and the page will be served. Over here, this is the stock summary view. Whatever gets passed to it becomes the symbol. And basically what happens is to define an instance of a stock that can then be rendered on the page. It gets instantiated here, the stock object comes up, and then using an external library called Yahoo Finance, all of these various metrics are requested from the Yahoo Finance API and then stored as attributes on this instance of stock. At that point, or after that, a second query is run, and this time, rather than using an external library, this goes straight to the Yahoo Finance API and pulls out all the historical data and sets those in an instance of historical data. Both of these objects are then saved and sent to the view via this dictionary, current stock, and date metrics. And so to bring it full circle, you may notice that what gets returned is in fact this page that we saw in the beginning. So that's about it for this video. I will have a link for the source code on GitHub in the description below. I definitely welcome collaboration. If you have any ideas to make it better, feel free to get in touch or to submit a pull request. Thanks so much for watching.